Boom, boom, ding, ding. Mike's music method. Come on in, everybody. Live streaming. This is going to be a short one, but a very sweet one. So today, straight to the point, we are going to be talking about how to get better at playing your guitar and singing at the same time. I get lots of questions about this. We all love to sing and play at the same time. And I do give tips throughout most of my videos. Of course, I talk about isolating, whether it's keeping the strum pattern really simple or the thumb pattern really simple, and trying to sing on top of that. Like anything in life, like getting better at guitar, you have to practice singing and playing together as a thing. You're not just going to magically be able to sing while you're doing a complicated guitar part all of a sudden. So it takes a lot of practice. That's number one. But let's make it practical. One of my great students, Mike G, he gets credit for me coming up with this, and he was so patient with me. He was having trouble singing a song. We were troubleshooting it. I was simplifying it, breaking it down, and finally we got to this very helpful, simple little exercise. So we can do this in 5 minutes, guys, but practice this a little bit every day, and you're going to have to be creative with it too to make it more complicated to fit your skill level, but it's really straightforward. So up here in underline and in bold, we have simple beats, 1, 2, 3, 4. So before we play or sing, make sure you can get comfortable tapping all these out, right? So we have a downbeat, that's my guitar, but every downbeat, 2, 3, 4, has an and beat or an upbeat. So I'm taking these quarter notes, turning them into eighth notes by adding a ceiling, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So anytime you're in the car, just start practicing that. Maybe you're gonna do 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Maybe you're going to do this one. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 2. Then how about this one? Can you do this? And 2, 4, and 2, 4. Now keep in mind, when we're playing guitar, or especially Travis picking, our thumb is always doing the numbers. So when you're out in the car listening to music, I want you always to be nodding to the downbeat, tapping your hand, your foot, whatever. Don't tap the gas pedal or the brake pedal. Something else, tap something else. But you always have this going, and can you just in your mind come up, right? These are just all with ands on beat 1. So can I do 1 and 4, 1 and 4, and 3, 4, and 3, 4, and 3, 4. Surprisingly, for some of you guys, that might be complicated already, right? In high school, I played drums. By no means am I a good drummer, but I got used to these kind of simple quarter notes against eighth notes. Now we can do 2 and beats, right, on beat 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So when I'm in the car, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And 2 and 4. And 2 and 4. 1 and 3. 1 and 3. And 4. And 4. 1 and 2 and. You guys get the idea. Once that gets easy, but first off, make sure you can do that. That might be complicated. That's step 1. Step 2 is to start to sing and play together. So what I want you to do for all of these, just like I said, always tap. Instead, we're just always going to strum. Let's just pick a C chord, and I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to sing just 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's easy enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now what I want you to do here, again, we're always going to play this. So you're just going to strum 1, 2, 3, 4. But you're going to start to experiment by singing more complicated rhythms on top of that simple pattern. And this is going to prepare you, because in a song, there's not only eighth notes syncopated on upbeats and downbeats, but you're going to get swung eighth notes. Sometimes you even get 16th notes. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. So you got to be rock solid at the basics, and I'm realizing a lot of my students can't do this. So again, we're going to sing this, but I'm just going to play this, right? So I'm always playing this the whole time. Let's try to sing this one with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Make sure that feels good. Let's do the next one. Strum it first. 3, 4, and 2. 4 and 2, 4. I am cool. I am cool. Right? You can put your own little lyrics into it, like I am cool. It's an unbelievable opening line to a song. Now we'll try this. 1 and 4, 1 and 4, bum ba dum, bum ba dum, bum ba dum. These are also great ways to come up with really cool melody ideas where right, there's creativity inside of constraints. So sometimes when you give yourself a simple little rhythm, you can really start to come up with a cool little musical motif. 2, 3, 4. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-dum, da-da, ba-dum. Now I lost the thread, right? So, but always make sure you count it, right? Let's keep going with the counting, but you get the idea. This can not only be a counting thing, but it's great for songwriting and just coming up with ideas when you're stuck. So again, I'm just strumming 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm gonna sing this with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 4, and 3, 4, and 3, 4. Now what we could do, I didn't do all of it. We could put a beat, an and beat only on the 2, and come up with a whole bunch of different ideas. So this is just a framework here, right? Do an and beat on beat 1 and take some away, right? All I did was do 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and then I started taking some away just to see if I could make it complicated and trip myself up. Then I could do and beats only on beat, right? 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and I can do take away beats that. Do an and beat only after beat 3, do an and beat only after beat 4. You can play with that idea. Now let's do an and beat. We'll do 2 and beats on 1 and 2. So I got 1 and 2 and 3, 4. But again, I'm only going to play the downbeats. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. This one. And 2 and 4 and 2 and 4 and 2 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 4 and 2 and 4. Right? Sing it, make it musical. Let's do another one. 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. And you realize how powerful rhythm is. I always forget this as a guitarist. Where it's just like, oh, I can play all these different notes. Let's find notes that sound cool. But arguably more important than the notes that you're playing is the rhythm of it, right? The groove that it's creating. I cannot stress that enough. But in fact, in my own life, I don't. I always just want to jump to notes and a melody without first considering the pulse or the groove. 2, 3, 4, and 4, and 4. Next one. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 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 at least for me, because I've been singing and playing a long time, just giving myself a little rhythm, like, oh, this is cool. I got my little rhythmic motif, and I just like let my mind and voice run with it. Again, it won't be that easy for you. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. If anyone's in the chat, say hello. Let me know if you got any questions on this stuff. We're talking about singing and playing at the same time. And I hope, of course, that the video and audio are coming in good, right? You guys can all see this on the screen. Now we'll add, well, real quick, before we move on, I added 2 and beats, but you can do an and beat after 2 and an and beat after 3. You can do an and beat after 1 and an and beat after 4. Endless variations. I'm only like the tip of the iceberg I'm just giving you here. But we can put this stuff together. Maximistra Vivers says, what? Purray Wiley Hubbard. Oh, and Mike, get out of your rut and get in the groove. I love it, Mike. Crystal clear. All right, awesome. Thank you, man. So let's put it on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So now we got 3 downbeats. But again, you could have done way more permutations of the other one. But I'm just tip of the iceberg. So we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm going to do each one twice, and then we'll just play through these one at a time here. And 4 and 4. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 4. 1 and 4. So as you get better, you jump around and you kind of try to trip yourself up. And the whole idea here is, can I just feel that downbeat without having to think about it and put ands wherever I want? That's what we're going for. And I promise you, this will really do a lot to internalize rhythm. That's what we're trying to do. Just like when I talk about Travis picking, this stuff has to be muscle memory. If you want to get good at it and you want to make things more complicated with little like hammer-ons and fills, right? Can I have it? See, that's real hard to have a conversation and do. But you got to have these basic patterns, right? Thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. This stuff just becomes muscle memory, and it's the same thing with singing and playing. And I know it's not specific to a song, but you have muscle memory for certain rhythms, right? For when you're gonna sing on a downbeat, sing on an upbeat, extend it, sing on a couple upbeats in a row, right? Get all the syncopation. I'm being redundant, but I want to make it clear. Now let's put an and beat. Wait, real quick, sorry. Just like I said, we had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I can do 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. That still has 3 and beats. I could do 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and, right? So I can move these 3 and beats around. Just like you could have moved the 1 and beat around, move the 2 and beats around. Now let's put them on all 4. There's really no way to move this around, right? It's just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And I'll do the same thing. After I do it twice, I'll move on to the next one, okay? So from the top here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Sorry, the last one's the same as the first. You guys get the idea. I wanted to keep a short and sweet video as a reference for this is step 1 for how to sing and play your guitar at the same time. And I promise this is awesome. Get your tapping. Can you sit there, do a floor and a ceiling with this doc? Can you listen to any song on the radio and just start to do and 4 and, right? Just pick a rhythm at random. And then of course, what I demonstrated here today, play your guitar and sing through these various rhythms. Now, I would just kind of write out what I did. I'm not going to post this publicly because I think you guys get the idea. It only takes a second to kind of write out some of your own. Literally, I'm just removing certain beats, right? This is my starter rhythm, and I'm going to remove certain beats. Then I'm using 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 as a starter rhythm, removing certain numbers. I'm keeping the ands just to give you that syncopated feel because that tends to be what's complicated about this stuff. But even here, right, I could have did an and beat on 2 and 4, and I could play around with that endlessly. I could do an and beat on 2 and 3, play around with that endlessly, right? So you can mess around with 2 and beats, then mess around with 3 and beats. And I think you guys get it. I'm getting spam in the chat. But that's it. That's the short lesson, how to play and sing at the same time. Good luck. Let me know if you want me to continue with this series, if I have other thoughts. But this is a lot to run with, and I promise you, if you get good at this and that becomes easy, anytime you approach a song on your guitar, it's just going to be so much easier to do. But now that I'm saying this, one final step, once you get good at strumming, instead of doing, you can finger pick, right? 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2. You can start getting your thumb in there when things get easy. But that's enough. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Later, y'all. And I got to have a party. 20K subs. Can you guys believe it? Mike's Music Method. Thank you all for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell all your friends about me. And go over to mikesmusicmethod.com. Snag a plan. start learning from all the awesome tabs. And if you want the All Access Atkins, I've got a little guitar course I'm going to be working on. I've got 2 ebooks you could be learning from. It's amazing. But later, guys, be well. Great as always, Mike. Thank you, Thwackum77. I appreciate it. And until next time, comment down below what you'd like to see next. Later, y'all. Peace. Peace.